Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, and now here I am to continue my countdown of reviews for my picks for the top 10 best anime DreamWorks movies. Now at number 8, I actually have a two-way tie for number 8 in this list. Because, yeah, the two films I have at the number 8 spot really are just like, I like both just about the same, and it was hard to really like rank which one I liked more than the other one. So, yeah, I just really like couldn't like decide where to rank them, so I have a two-way tie at number 8. Alright, so here I am with my review for what I have in the first spot at number 8, which is Over the Hedge. So, when I first saw this film in the theaters, like when it first came out, like I thought that it was pretty good. I mean, I really did like the movie. I did think it was like a pretty funny movie. It did have like quite the number of laughs in it. Yeah, I really haven't gone back to really watch this one very much. I mean, ever since this film was first released in the theaters, I probably have only seen it again, like probably like only once or twice before like after like rewatching it just now to make this review. And yeah, I do still think that this is a pretty good movie overall. Yeah. I watched Nostalgia Critic's like Dream Mortuary review for this movie, and he feels that this movie was like kind of sucked, and he really like didn't see this movie to be very good. And I guess coming from his point of view, I can kind of see where he's coming from because I mean, yeah, he just feels that this film just really didn't seem very funny, and plus, like, he feels that some of the jokes really didn't work out, and, yeah, I guess I can kind of see where he's coming from, because, yeah, he feels that with just some jokes, like, because of, like, some jokes they do, he really feels that it really doesn't work, seeing how this is an animated movie, and he feels that some voice actors in here, like, with some jokes that they perform, he feels that these actors should actually be seen when doing these jokes, rather than just, like, recording dialogue or whatever. Yeah. Plus, he just really is like was really annoyed that this film really did have like another liar revealed story, and that does seem to be like a recurring story that the DreamWorks movies seem to have a lot. I mean, they had like quite the number of movies that really do have like the liar revealed story, and yeah, I guess like I can understand why he really feels that way he does about it because I mean he's just like was really tired of seeing the lie revealed story. Because yeah, that story's really been used to death a number of times, especially in DreamWorks movies. So yeah, I guess I can understand like in a sense why he really does feel the way he does about this film. But I mean, if you can like put up with like those kinds of elements, I think that you can get some enjoyment out of it, like I can. And yeah, I do think that this is a pretty enjoyable movie overall. I mean, it does have like quite the cast in this film. I mean, yeah, in this film it has stars like Bruce Willis, Gary Shandling, Steve Carell, Wanda Sykes, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, William Shatner, Nick Nolte, Thomas Hayden Church. So yeah, it does have like a pretty big cast for this film. And yeah, I do think that overall they do work enough. I mean, yeah, some of like there are like characters that do get lots of laughs, but especially like Steve Carell as like Hammy the squirrel. Like, yeah, Hammy in this film, like he's just like the best character in this one. Like he just absolutely makes this film. Like Hammy just like steals every scene that he's in. I mean, Hammy is just hilarious with like he's really hyper and just some of the lines that he says. I mean, yeah, Hammy is just like hilarious and he like totally makes this film. But yeah, the other characters overall are pretty good. Like some do get laughs. Like has like William Shatner and Avril Lavigne. And has like two Virginia Opossum, and yeah, they like get a laugh every now and again. And Eugene Levy, he sometimes can get a laugh, as well as like some other people like Bruce Willis. Like he is pretty really good in this and yeah, Wanda Sykes, she does get a laugh sometimes in this film, and yeah, the other actors in this film I think are overall like pretty good for voice actors for in this film. And yeah, I do think that the story, while it definitely has been used a lot, like this lie revealed stuff, I do think it is handled like pretty interestingly because the way that they use it in this film, it's like kind of like unique. It's not really like typically the way we see this done. And yeah, the story in this film is really how like RJ the raccoon, the main character of this film, he's like being threatened to be eaten by like a bear that he knows if he doesn't like redeem like the food that he caused the bear to lose, and so then he like ends up like using all the family of animals to help him just gain all of the food back so he can like spare his life and stuff. And yeah, one it's eventually like revealed to the other animals that he was like using them and lying to them just to save his own neck. Then like the animals like do like really turn on him, but then he ends up like coming back at the end to redeem himself. So yeah, I guess like it was like done like kind of unique in this film. Yeah, I mean, this really wasn't the worst thing ever, and yeah, I did think that overall this was a pretty good film. It definitely had some laughs in, and yeah, it did have like some good characters in it, and so yeah, overall, while definitely not like a masterpiece or anything, it definitely was like a pretty good film. I would give this film probably 3.25 stars out of 4. I mean, it definitely was like a pretty like entertaining movie. Like it is definitely worth a watch. So yeah, let me just get right into it. All right, so as the movie opens, it shows that the raccoon RJ, he's like trying to find some food for himself, and he eventually like comes in across like a cave that like a bear that he knows, Vincent, is like hibernating in. And it shows that he has like a wagon of food that take he has with him. And then RJ was like trying to take the food for himself, but he ends up like accidentally waking up Vincent. And then like Vincent saw what RJ was doing, but yeah, RJ like was like trying to tell Vincent that he didn't actually steal the food since it was still in the cave. But then like RJ accidentally like bumped the wagon his food was in, and it caused the wagon to just roll into the highway, and then a car ended up like running over it. And then, yeah, Vincent was then gonna eat RJ, but then RJ just asked Vincent to give him a week to replace all of his food. And so then, yeah, Vincent gave RJ the week to get his food. And then, yeah, then like showed that there was then like a family of other hibernating animals that have now like woken up in the spring. Yeah, it's like a Vern turtle, Hammy the squirrel, uh, Stella a skunk, some porcupines, Lou and Penny, along with their triplet sons like Spike, Bucky, and Quillo, and yeah, Ozzy and his daughter Heather, which were opossum, and yeah, and yeah, the children that like as they were hibernating, there was like a housing development that had been built, and it showed them how then that they were like saw that it, there was like a new housing development there, and saw that like they were kind of like split up by a hedge in between, and then like separated from like the forest and stuff. And then RJ eventually like came across them, and then yeah, RJ was then just like telling them because how they were kind of afraid to go past the hedge and stuff. They felt that uh, they wouldn't be able to actually get any food food for themselves. Also, but then RJ then like was telling all of them that about like the amount of food that humans eat, and then like they should actually like take some food from humans. And yeah, Vern, who was like the leader of the group, was like kind of like really hesitant on really following with RJ's plan, but the other animals like were in agreement to it, like they supported it. And so then, yeah, the animals then were like starting to try to steal some food, like directly from humans. And yeah, it was showing that RJ was like really like guiding them and to help them collect food. And of course, like this was for him to replace all of the food that he caused Vincent to lose. And then eventually, at one point, like the animals were trying to raid trash cans of like the chairwoman of like the homeowners association, Gladys Sharp, and then she like caught the animals like trying raiding her garbage, and she like scared them off. Off, yeah. And then like RJ was trying to like show the animals like another other ways to like sneak to get the human food. And at one point, like he showed Hammy like because RJ had seen some Girl Scouts like trying to sell cookies, and then like it was funny. RJ was like using Hammy to try to retrieve cookies, and he showed him a cookie once and threw it away. And Hammy just said, "I'd like a cookie." Yeah, and so then yeah, RJ then just used Hammy to try to snatch some of the Girl Scout cookies, but then like the Girl Scout eventually ended up caught him, and Vern tried to save Hammy, but yeah, Vern was spotted too, and then yeah, the girls just went crazy, and then yeah, they eventually end up escaping, and then afterwards, then the ladies just then decided to like call an animal exterminator to take care of the animals, yeah, and eventually like the exterminator then and like arrived, and then he just like off ended up like installing an illegal trap in her backyard, which was called a Depelter Turbo. Yeah. And then, yeah, Vern just then saw what was going on. He was trying to warn everybody about the trap, but yeah, RJ was just like insistent with them being okay. Yeah. And then later on, like, Vern just ended up like trying to just return all the stolen food because he was fearing for like the safety of his pack. But then, like, RJ tried to stop Vern from returning it, and then yeah, after like a encounter with like a crazy dog, then like all the food in the wagon had been just destroyed. And then yeah, eventually then like Vern was just like trying to tell the rest of his group that he really doesn't think RJ can be trusted, but yeah, the others just felt that Vern was just really being jealous of RJ and stuff, and so then they ended up like abandoning Vern and joining with RJ. And then RJ tried to just then like gather everyone up to try to raid Glady's home to because she was having a large party and she would have a bunch of food there, and so then RJ was trying to get the other animals to raid her home to retrieve the food for him to give to Vincent. Yeah. Yeah. And then yeah, Stella was like posing as a cat to distract like a tiger, which was like Glady's cat. Yeah. And yeah, it was then like showing that like that a tiger was like really becoming infatuated with uh Stella. Yeah. Yeah, and then it just then showed like all the rest of them just then like trying to collect all the food, but then yeah, and then came back to try to help them, but then eventually like once like they were Vern felt that they had gotten enough food, but RJ then was trying to retrieve something else, and then yeah, RJ then just like ended up like inadvertently revealing what he was really trying to do to give food to Vincent. And then yeah, the animals then ended up being discovered by Glades, and then yeah, then like the exterminator caught them and captured them. But then yeah, RJ just ended up escaping with the food, and then yeah, he ended up leaving, and yeah, the other everybody else ended up like being captured. And then as they were being like caged and loaded into the exterminator's truck, RJ then was like returning the food to Vincent, but then he saw the exterminator's truck with the others like in it. Yeah. Yeah, and then yeah, RJ then just ended up like using the wagon of the food to knock the truck off the road, and then yeah, after that like that just enraged Vincent, and then yeah, Vincent then just chased down RJ, and then yeah, the exterminator ended up like getting knocked out in the truck, and yeah, the animals all end up getting free. Yeah, and then yeah, RJ was then like out trying to like get in the truck, trying to convince the others to let him in, but yeah, they all were just like refusing him to let him in because of what he did before. But then Vern then just like convinced everybody to forgive RJ since he did return to save them. And then yeah, eventually RJ was then let in, and yeah, they returned the truck back to the development, and yeah, Vince was like trying to get in, like just swinging around all over the place when the truck would ever take huge turns. Yeah, and then they eventually like ended up like crashing through Lady's home, and then yeah, they all just ended up like fleeing back into the hedge. But then yeah, I don't think Ladies and the Exterminator were trying to capture the animals again with like a weed whacker and a cattle prop, and Joe Vincent was on the other side of the hedge trying to get them. Yeah. And then eventually, like, RJ then came up with a plan, and he gave, like, Hammy a soda or something thing, and then, like, that then allowed Hammy to, like, move really, really fast, and then, yeah, Hammy then, like, ended up, like, turning on the, yeah, turbo thing, the Depulter turbo, in, like, Lady's backyard, and then, yeah, he, like, caused, like, the Exterminator to capture Vincent, and then, yeah, Vincent, Glades, and the Exterminator were like ended up being trapped in the Depulter Turbo, and yeah, the animals all escaped. And then, yeah, then like later on, showed then the animal control and the police arrived, and yeah, Vincent ended up being sent to the Rocky Mountains, and then yeah, Glades and the Exterminator ended up being arrested for using the illegal trap. And then yeah, it then showed then RJ and Vern then apologizing to each other, and then yeah, RJ was then like introduced into the group. He was then like accepted in, and then yeah, Tiger also ended up being brought in also. So with his like attraction with Stella, yeah, and then yeah, then like Vern then like realized that they really didn't actually recover hover any food, but yeah, Hammy then revealed that as he was sped up, he actually did like collect enough nuts for them to last the year. And yeah, it just ended like that. When yeah, Hammy then was just like came up close to the camera and actually like hit the camera like he just smashed into it or something, and it cut to credits. So yeah, like I said, 3.25 stars out of 4. It is a pretty good movie overall. I mean, not really one of the a masterpiece or anything, but it is like an enjoyable film if you can put up with like the elements that Nostalgia Critic really didn't like about it and why he really feels that it really wasn't very good. But if you can put up with these elements like I can, I think you will get some enjoyment out of this film. So yeah, I'd say if you can put up with it, I'd recommend this film. Alright, so yeah, this is a review of Over the Hedge. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.